All right, back for another week on the DSP and joined with me an artist we've been playing for the last couple of weeks. You've heard it, Summer Freaks. His name is B Wise. He joins me from Sydney. Broski, how you doing down there in Sydney?
I'm well, man. Well, we out here surviving, man. We're chilling.
That's the main thing, bro. We just got to get through this time of life. We'll be able to look back and laugh on it in 10 years.
Yeah, for real. I think it is what it is. And at this point, it's just like you just adapt or die, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? Like we just got to just keep on moving and just take it in our stride, you know?
Yeah, Sydney's got one of the biggest and I want to say the best music scenes in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, how is the music scene, coming back at the moment out there? What's it look like? How's everyone doing?
Like it's calm. Like people, there's obviously been, different pitched efforts and things like that from, whether it be promoters or booking agents or music bodies. Music New South Wales and all that kind of thing, and the artists themselves trying to be active on the live sense. But there's been so much, like it is for everyone, there's just been a lot of, I guess, non-certainty. So, there has been a few gigs. People have been doing gigs and all that, like kind of like the seated vibes and all that kind of thing. Me personally, I kind of held back from that. I just was like, let me just write my record and just see how things are going. But yeah, like there's been different, stints of efforts of just trying to, create and keep adding culture. But in the meantime, like music in general, though, just like songs, like artists have just been pumping them out from Sydney. So they're just trying to wait or build to that moment where it's just like, all right, we'll get back on the road and actually play all these songs that we gave you all year.
I guess over COVID, was it tough? And it's different for all artists, but I mean, in a sense of being able to see the reaction from the fans and from, people that come out to shows and really gauge that kind of how a song is working, if it's connecting. Has that been tougher for you?
I think it in a sense, like, the live part is a big part of my show, like part of my business in general. Like I put a lot of effort into that, and I usually work songs that aren't released yet somewhere here and there in the live set. So, I kind of just now at this point, just got to assume and just look at numbers and kind of look at interaction and that kind of thing. So, which in general respect isn't that bad. Like you can still gauge how people feel about it, but on a live context, it's never the same until you drop that song and then you see what the reaction is like. So, we're just hoping for those opportunities will come when the time's right.
Taking a look back and really kind of getting to understand, I guess, who B Wise is and doing a bit of research. And I find this story about you coming back from Nigeria and you get this care package with some of the, I want to say, greatest albums of all time, at a young age. Talk to me about that care package you got.
Well, I don't know how much you read and the research. Like it's true, that's true. Like, well, I don't know like how much the story said, but basically like that. When coming back from Nigeria at a young age, and where I first started to hear like Tupac and that kind of thing, and I was like, oh, this is dope. And in the house at the time, like our parents would only play like R&B, reggae, African music, just real chill stuff like that. Nothing with like obscenities and shit. So. The care package was actually, our house got robbed and shit at one point when we got back. And I was just like, we'll like obviously devastated. But then, we ended up getting all these like from the insurance or something, like this stack of CDs. And they're like, yo, tick whichever ones were stolen. Obviously, but we tick every fucking, I'm on there ticking like, yep, all eyes on me, Snoop Dogg, Dogfather, tick, tick, tick. So it was like all the hot albums.
Two of these ones, yeah.
I'm ticking and my dad's like, hey, I don't remember having all these. And I'm just like, yeah, we had them, I think. So anyway, all these albums came and then, and just coming across all this music, it's just like really, that's what I think fully propelled me into like the love of rap music and hip hop culture.
Yeah, you mentioned, Tupac and hearing him early. Is there, and I feel like, for most artists, there is maybe an album or, even a song that really, I guess, defined the moment that they went, wow, like this is someone's career. Like they get to tell stories, spit lyrics, and get to do this. Is there something for you like that?
Not necessarily like in a sense of like, this is their career. It was just more so just like the sonics and sounds and because I was already accustomed to, you know, rhythm and blues and all that kinds of things and just good music. So just the sonics and sounds and just like me, obviously, like was able to, with what was going on in my life and, you know, with a lot of people in my life, like I was able just to, I guess, relate better to the music that was coming in that sense. And then, you know, it wasn't until like the early 2000s, then off what you're saying, like maybe like, you know, it's 2000s and shit, like I was still at school and whatnot, but like seeing the bling era, you know what I mean? With like when, you know, like Nelly's and friggin'
Nelly's,
like,
50 Cent,
like
Ja Rule,
Cash,
Chingy.
exactly, Cash Money, No Limits, everyone, like it was just that bling bling era. And then I was just like, oh, they're really making money. Like this is like, this craft is like, this is a big thing. And at that point, I still wasn't like, I'm going to be a rapper yet. It was just like, that was the culture, that was the style. So you want to buy your fake bling, you want to buy your fake shit and look just like that, but then be like, oh, okay, that's how they're getting money. But it's not till years later, then I was just like, okay, there's some certain feasibility in this business, you know, like for me.
What was it for you? You know, I guess, you know, like you said, watching those artists make the money and get involved in the music industry, and, you know, you weren't taking it serious or really in it. Well, when did it kind of become something for you where you went, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. It's what I want to chase.
It was just a crossroads in my life. I was just at the point where, you know, I was dibbling and dabbling. I was always like, I started like writing music. I started being in studios and around music and around people who make music and just kind of like getting my like feet wet a little bit, you know, just playing around with it, going from being the local, you know, the local area MC to then, you know, the area rapper, and then like, you know, just growing into like with the whatever. But it came to me with just a crossroads. Like, you know, I was like, you know, I think it was like in my last year of uni, and you know, it's just like, fuck, yeah, you know, and uni was already a struggle and all that kind of thing. So it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to, you know what I mean? You're going to enter the workforce. You're really going to do this thing that you're passionate about. Because by that point I had been on stages and, you know, I'd been doing supports and just, again, getting my feet wet, but not really like, all right, this is it. So it just was a crossroads in life where it's just like, all right, if I'm going to do this, like I need to do this now, and I need to really like make the moves to do it. And then mind you as well, you know, like the Australian music scene, particularly for rap, and then someone look like myself, you know, an African Australian, like there wasn't many people as well that just looked like me in the scene, you know. So I was, again, looking at the US as influence, but, you know, where I was in this region, I'm like, all right, if we're going to make it happen, these are the steps and these are the moves I need to do. And, you know, and then did that. And then, you know, debut was what, like 2016, like with an EP and that. And then rest is history, you know. I'm
glad you said that because, you know, I played Summer Freaks and, you know, a lot of people go like, oh, who's this new artist? Like, whoa, you know, this is his first song, whatever. And it's like, when you do the research and you look and you understand, it's like, this has been a journey for you, you know, over the best part of the last, you know, 6-7 years. Have you seen a big change in the, I'm really interested to hear what you say here, in the availability of studios and being able to record, and how it was when you first started and having to save up money and get into a studio, and now people can record studio quality in their bedroom? Yeah,
massive change. Like everyone's got a studio now. Like right now where I'm sitting, you can't see it. Like if I turn a computer, it's like my whole setup is just basically here in the house. So it's like everyone has accessibility, you know, and that's the thing. But I didn't even myself, I didn't really like invest in buying equipment and buying these things until like, again, I was at a crossroads. Like I was borrowing people's equipment all the time, or, you know, using stuff or using people's space. And then I was like at a point where I couldn't finish my album because, like, you know, something or whatnot had happened where I couldn't get access to that shit. So I went out with, you know, got a credit card and freaking bought the shit that I needed for that once and one off, and then it just pays itself back. And then, you know, it's just now everywhere you can have access to like studio, you can tap in or just lock in. Being with a, you know, business partner, like a major distributor, can access bigger studios and all that kind of thing. So now, because music is so lucrative, and particularly rap music here, there's just more access, man.
You know, you talked before about, you know, getting to open for certain acts and be involved with, you know, some of the OGs out there, you know, Earth Boy, Fundamentals. For them, you know, I feel like they really did a lot of legwork for the artists that are popping over the last 4 or 5 years, you know. Have have they played a big part in the music career for you and the likes of artists around you?
Personal to me, you know, and I've always been vocal about it as well. Like particularly, you know, we'd say Earth Boy, you know what I mean? This is like someone who came along and had discovered like me amongst the pack. And that was like the first proper record deal I'd signed was with him and with Elephant Tracks, and you know what I mean? And they're always fam, and I got so much love for, you know, what his early guidance as well. And he continues to guide me. He send me texts every now and then, just like, yo, just checking on you, keep your head up, you know what I mean? Just making sure that you keep it on track. And I love and appreciate those kinds of things from him. And then obviously when you mention like Thunders and Horror Show, like these are the people that I went on tours with, like early supports, and I was able to polish my live act, polish my live show, and also reach new fans and new audiences, you know, through them. And, you know, half will come on, half won't, may not, like, because the sound will obviously, and those boys took a risk as well, like, because my sound was a bit different from theirs, but they, you know, obviously trusted, and they fucked with what I was doing anyway. They were just liking what I was doing, and they're like, you know, come on the road with us, and we did. And so I've got to, of course, pay my homage to those guys who definitely put in the legwork and et cetera like that. So it's just like our job and my job, and which they're still doing too. You can't even rule them out. Like they're still active and they're still making music and they're still trying to reinvent what they're doing. And so with me, it's just like now I have a bit more basis as well. Like it's to continue to push this forward and to continue to keep growing as an artist myself, and also, you know, continue to bring in and shed light on a scene of, you know, this multicultural Australia that we live in and this inclusive country that we want to be.
There's a great photo out there circling with you, Earth Boy, and Sampa the Great, who had such an amazing, you know, last year. Where's that photo? What's going on there?
I believe, if it's from memory, if it's a photo of me, Earth Boy, and Sampa, is it like, are we like on a car?
You're sitting on a Mustang, an old Mustang.
Yeah, that's the photo. That's like, that was early. That was like 2016 maybe. That was a while back. That was at the Elephant Tracks HQ, and Sampa was there. I think she was in town, and she was also a new emerging artist as well. Like, so, you know, these were the first days even me and her used to sort of link and meet. You know what I mean? We still talk to this day. I was just messaging her just before actually, and then but that's interesting. It's like just, you know, moments in the come up.
Well, it's great to see, because it's like I said earlier, you know, people go, oh, you know, that they've just, you know, it's their first song out and all of a sudden they've popped off. It's like, nah, you look back and it's great to see who you have been linked with, and, you know, everyone kind of, they come up together. And I feel like, you know, just like I was saying about Sampa having a big last year, and I feel like you're having a great year at the moment, and I think that it's about to continue to pop for you. So I'm stoked to see, and, you know, I would love to see, you know, a Sampa and BY's collab track, you know, coming up sometime soon.
Sit tight. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's talk Summer Freaks, because this track is sick. You linked with Manu Crooks on it, and we've been spinning it for the last couple of weeks. Where did it come from?
Summer Freaks, it was just like, I guess the result of us trying to find a song for like a year. Like, you know, me and him we always tend to have a good chemistry on the songs, and you know, we kind of like don't worry about rules and things like that. So I was trying to find a record with him for about a year or so, to be honest. And it's just about, we have a bunch of ideas and, you know, in the archives, but it's about what worked and what was making sense. Then, when I was kind of about to give up on that idea, then I think Solo came, and he's like, yo, me and Manu already started this idea, but we're just sitting on it. It's just kind of there. And I was just like, oh, word, like, let me take it away and so play with it. And it was the early workings, and I took it away and did my little thing with it, and you know, just did my little creative vibe on it. Then Uno Stereo in Melbourne, we kind of took it to him, and then he kind of put some more sauce up on the beat and pieced it together. I did the mix down, and, you know, Solo took it back again, and he did his thing, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we basically, that's just kind of how, you know, our dynamic is, you know what I mean? We just sort of work open and passively like that. And it's just, that's how we came about with this song. And then, I was just like, you know, I want to push this. I think this is definitely going to be a tight one. So, you know, we got it wrapped up and we put it out to the public, just like on the last weekend too, before summer broke out. Cause I think we kind of started it back yeah, late last year or something.
For you, you know, dropping music and releasing them, do you have, you know, something you do every time you put a single out? Do you really enjoy that moment, or you just, you know, kind of keep on moving and pushing through it?
Man, I get kind of like, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? I get a bit flustered or anxious around releases, you know, like it's just a lot going on and there's just a lot of fucking moving pieces, especially as, you know, as the business grows and as you grow as an artist, there's a lot more people involved. So there's a lot more, again, moving pieces to consider. So I try, like once it's out there and once it's released, I'm kind of like, phew, all right, boom, that's done. You know, turn off the phone for a couple of hours, come back and let's see how it's bubbling and see what the response is and get engaged. You got to engage with people like with the release. So you're really still driving it. So, you know, it's a bit of a stressful time, but at the same time, like, this is the life we chose, you know?
Facts. That's right. I like that. This is the life we chose.
Yeah.
Potentially that could be the title of maybe your next album. This is the life we chose. Are you working on an album or something?
Let me just write that down right now. I'm not even fucking with you. Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna show you something. This is a little exclusive right here. See all those words? They're all possible album titles.
Oh damn! And we just put one on there.
I'm about to write one right now. This is the life.
This is the life we chose, bro. So that means obviously you're working on an album at the moment.
Yeah, bro. 100. We're doing.
How you feel?
It's the sophomore album. It's a follow up to Area Famous, which is So it's been over 2.5 years, I think, since my debut album. So this is the follow-up album, and we're just trying to finalize things on it this month. You know, still keeping music rolling out. We've got a couple more still to roll out before it drops, but yeah, man, just getting it tied up.
Well, man, I'm excited to hear this this sophomore album that you got coming out. We're gonna go crazy with Summer Freaks until we get another Be Wise drop, bro. But just know that you've always got a home here on the DSP whenever you're dropping some heat like this.
Bless. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.